Hey guys, welcome back. Our current leader, aka Donald Trump, wants everyone in the world now to be enslaved for 50 years. Let's get into it. Now, I think it's a good thing to be critical of our President of the United States. More people should do it. Even Trump supporters should be critical of this. This policy that he's promoting for a 50-year mortgage is horrible, okay? It is the most horrible idea. I think it's silly, to be honest. The fact that we want to take out more and more debt for another 20 years of our lives should be frowned upon, okay? Now, I understand why he wants to do it, because the housing market is basically dead. Okay, no one's buying houses. They're too expensive. Okay, but just throwing out some silly idea like this, and maybe even a policy for the bankers to make more money on every American, is absolutely unreal. Where are the ideas, Donald Trump? You're the man who's supposedly the leader of the United States, and you can't come up with a better plan than just increasing mortgages to 50 years? You know, let's think about some plans out there, you know? I can think of a few just off the top of my head. I was thinking about it this morning. You know, one thing we could do is offer builders some incentives to build lower income housing, like maybe houses that don't go above an asking price of $200,000, $250,000. That could be a reasonable plan. Maybe it means the builders get a tax break. They don't have to pay taxes on any of the profits. Maybe there's an idea. You know, I don't think that's subsidizing them. They just don't get to pay taxes, you know, or maybe they don't have to pay taxes on any of the building materials if they stay within a certain sales price of a home, right? We need to come up with more creative ideas to increase the supply of housing, okay? This idea of just doing a 50-year mortgage, it's the same concept as giving out tons of student loans. You guys all know what happened, right? With bigger and bigger, more and more student loans. What happened? The universities took advantage of it and raised prices year over year, decade over decade. And now look where we're at. College is unaffordable. It's not even worth it these days. And the same thing is going to happen for housing. If we go to a 50-year mortgage, the houses are going to become unaffordable even more so today. What's the average price of a house? It's like, what, $400,000 nationwide? If we go to a 50-year fixed, we're going to go up to $800,000. Because think about it. Today is the 30-year fixed. Okay, today it's $400K average price. We double the mortgage size, we might as well double the price. Go to $800,000, guys. And then the 50-year fix will be pointless. Just like the 30-year fix is pointless today. We got to come up with different ideas. But a 50-year fixed mortgage is just unaffordable for everyone out there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if you're offended if you vote for Trump and you like him. That's fair, you know. I respect your vote. But I don't respect this policy. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and we all need to call this out. Come up with something better. Work with people in Congress on both sides. You know, come up with a plan. Have builders be incentivized. If that means that you don't collect any more tax dollars from builders to build certain priced properties, then so be it. Maybe they can get deals on the land as well. You guys got a ton of government land. I'm sure that we could come up with a solution for that. You know, there's tons of land in Detroit that I'm sure the local jurisdictions in Detroit, the local townships have ownership of, have a federal plan to work with those townships to have incentive for builders to build on that property. We have the capabilities and we have the tools to make this better. But if we go to a 50-year fixed, we can forget it. And who's it going to benefit? It's going to benefit all of Trump's buddies, all the mortgage brokers and the bankers, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo. That's who it's going to benefit at the end of the day. The shareholders in the stock market, probably people like me. I probably have some bank shares in some ETF somewhere. I don't want that. I think that's just a disservice to our nation. We need to help young people find affordable housing in the prices of probably, 100 to 250K. That's the range we need to be in. You can still have a 30-year fixed mortgage between that price range. And, I think it's also going to benefit, if we do this 50-year mortgage, all the boomers and the Gen Xers who own properties. That's pretty sad, honestly. Just to give them the golden parachute when it comes to valuation on their properties? I'm sorry, but I just don't believe in that. I don't agree with that. I do not care how much money I get out of this house because I invested in companies. That's what my retirement is. My retirement is not based on the liquidity of this home, okay? I think that honestly, I'd rather just sell this property for the exact same price that I paid for it. That's the way we need to be in this country. I cannot stand the fact that we are making money on properties. It just destroys the next generation. They won't have enough money to even invest in companies. It'll only be the banks and the hedge funds that will be able to take advantage of the stock market because there's no room for the extra money that young people are going to need because they're going to have a 50-year fixed mortgage. The only equity people are going to have now on a 50-year fixed is what? $50 a month? That's all that's going to go towards principal. The bank's going to collect everything up front for the first 30 years of a mortgage. The last 20 years is when you'll pay off your property. That's just a horrible idea. I don't like it. I think it's a bad idea. I think Donald Trump, you need to do better, man. Come on, bro. You're the real estate expert. You're the builder. Donald Trump is a builder. He built properties all throughout this country. He could figure it out. He could come up with a better plan. I'm sure he understands the tax code when it comes to real estate, building properties. But to come up with a 50-year fixed mortgage, come on, bro. Get it together. Come up with a bigger solution, and then come back to the American people and propose something better, something that builders can get behind, that you and your builder buddies, invite your builder buddies into the White House and have them figure out a plan, a tax incentive for them to build lower cost housing. There's got to be a way, guys. This is not the way. I'm sorry to tell everyone. So anyway, sorry for the rant. I'm not trying to insult any of the Trump voters out there. I'm just pissed off about it. I think it's a ridiculous plan. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And anyways, if you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. And take a look at my previous video. And everyone have a good day. Later.